get some help here.
Yeah, what are they supposed to do on YouTube?
Oh, they should subscribe, they should like, they should share, and they should leave a comment.
Yo, be like Cynthia and Sammy, like, share, subscribe.
Arm drags today. So we had gone through a whole series of arm drags. This time we're going to pair them with leg locks. So I'm going to feed you 2 moves, right? Pretty simple. Push this arm down, come in here and grip, pull in, reach for the back, right? Come up, dump. As soon as we're here, perfect. That's the first one, right? But once you go do all of this, they go flare this leg, right? Because one of the things that we did, right, if we think about this conceptually, we're like this, pushing this down, I'm dragging, they pick that leg up, right? Because they just realized that, go down for a second. I went like this, and either I've taken this leg out so that I can make this turn and come around, or potentially I've reached for this lat, and the moment I go and do any of this, he's gonna flare this leg. And now he knows, because he doesn't want me to get to that hip or reach this back, and now when he flares, he's trying to come around the side and now pass me, right? But I started with something. I started with both of my hooks in here, right? So instead of worrying about taking this guy out, I'm actually just gonna shoot this guy long and hook this leg, right? So what you're seeing is this. As I've pushed this down and I've gone and reached to drag, the moment I lift this leg, right? That's all I did, right? But as I pull now, I realize I don't have a lot, but I do have one thing. I have this grip on this hand, and I have all of his body weight on this kneecap because he flared, right? So everything on this side is super light. So I don't mechanically have to be super strong. So what you're seeing is this now. As I push down and I go to grip, and the moment he flares this leg, I lay down also because I'm gonna pull him into me to take this leg, okay? So I'm gonna ask you to reap at this point. The only thing I want you to do is have a focus, and I know everybody's different brackets depending if you're doing IBJJ, but in this class, it's submission, right? Submission. So I'm throwing this leg over. As I'm throwing this leg over, I'm pushing this leg out so that I can make this turn over the top to finish this heel either on this side where I cross my legs over. So this is the one we'll do, okay? So we're gonna start with 2, okay? And then I'm gonna combo that up because they're gonna turn on me. And I wanna be able to go back to the other leg on the other side and also be able to come up. So I'll feed you 2 different ones on the next one. So on the first one, we'll start again, right? You're here, first one, I push down, so I'm still repeating my drags. I'm getting comfortable doing all of them. I'm pulling in, no, stay right there, right? I'm here like this, I'm reaching, I'm picking them up, I'm sliding underneath, I'm going through all the mechanics, right? Where I dump them over. I'm like this, and now I'm coming around, right? Then on the second one, right? The moment you go do that, right? I'm like this, I'm picking up, and the moment I go drag and I'm pulling at this, it's gonna lift up. So I pick up also, right? And I'm not letting go of that leg. I'm actually driving it and picking it and bringing it to me, right? Here, there's a lot of things you could do on this. You don't have to do what I just did. You can elevate or sweep him. So I'm like this, right? Right away, I'm here, I don't need this grip anymore. I saw this everybody doing this today. They're trying to stand up and clear this kneecap. So make sure you reap, because I don't want this thing on the hip that he can peel it off. So the moment I reap over the top, what did I do? I pushed out the back leg, right? So now the heel's totally exposed to me. So as we're cranking, he's gonna roll, absolutely. I'm here on the other side, or I've crossed my legs on this side. Let's partner up and do both. And this is what I mean, especially if you want to compete, ADCC, you want to do all these great competitions. The young man knows what I'm talking about. I'm like this on this drag, okay? And what did I want to do? I wanted to come to his back, man. I wanted to, like, you know, he's going to be pulling away. He's not going to lay here like this. And this is what I mean by it. You think a guy's going to let you put this hand down, grab like this, pull you forward, and just reach for this? No way. There's no way. He's going to be doing everything he can to get out of this, right? And if he remotely, okay, by the time I take this hand and going to touch that lat, you think that's real? No way. And we're talking high level. He's going to put his hand here. He's going to be fighting to put his head back in. And now I got to drop this grip and drop this out of the pocket so that I can reset this off a wide wedge and drop this angle, right? And what do you think he's gonna do, right? I mean, we're not even talking quarter second. This is literally like a full second. And now you have to go through so many sequences. This is what I see somebody doing. You know, he knows what I'm calling out right now. Because he wants to come. He came here to compete. And he's like this, and the guy picks up the leg, and he's doing this. What is that? You know, like, that's not what I showed, right? I showed this is your safety. Because at this point, I may take these legs out and try to come up, and we went through this whole sequence, but this is my safety. This is like conceptual, like I understand. I went like this, and I went coming around, and I realized he's going up, and I went, oh, no way, before you get out of here. This is my secondary safety. So it's not, like I showed you like a little drill to warm up, dump them over. But that's my safety, that's my second hook. I'm coming out this way. I know where I'm going. I want to get to that back. I want to make the turn. I'm not going to go, this isn't real. I'm not going to push this down, go like this, go grab. I mean, he's got to be a real beginner, right? Or I'll tell you when the other time it happens, is that you're just so much physically stronger, and you're a good black belt, and you're a gi player. And now you go like this, and you just grab anything over here. And he's like 140 pounds, and you're 220, and you're going to launch this guy. Yeah, I know you can. I know you're so strong, you probably can. But technically, in no-gi, it's not like that. I'm like this, and I'll come like this, go push this down, and go grab. And I'm trying everything to come out, take this leg. He's already coming up, and now he's flaring up. Okay, and I threw my leg up to hook this, and this is how we are. And now I'm going to do everything I can to get under that leg, because maybe I go to X guard. I don't know how this is going to turn. I don't even know how he's going, when I pull him, how deep I'm going to get. And now I'm doing everything to shoot this leg long. I'm going, whoop. Okay, now I'm good to go. I got this leg on this side with this kneecap on this side, right? So I'm not hooking with this leg. Number two is at this point, what's happening, and this, not everybody pretty much is doing it right. Some people are not keeping that bottom hook leg, which is going to enable them, if you understand, and I've challenged one of the other young men who wants to compete, you know, his one shortcoming was leg locks. I love his progressions. From the moment I'd had him since a white belt to this point now. So now, you know, his one shortcoming is leg locks, right? And everything's developing perfect. This young man wants to compete, and at least wants to do the trials, maybe have success. So I've challenged him. I want him to come an expert at leg locks, right? Because even if they're not in his equation or his wheelhouse, I want him to understand them so well that if I'm in the position where you're attacking, I understand everything you're doing so that I have an opportunity to dissect it. It's not a surprise to me. You're not going to fool me. If I read something because I fell asleep at the wheel, it's one thing, but you're not going to fool me. Right now, this is why I bring it up. I'm like this, and I come like this, and now he flares this up, and I went like this, and I drag this up. I come like this. I want to keep this hook under here, right? And I see some people taking this hook out, and now what is he going to do? He's going to back step on me, and now like this, and maybe I lose him or he kicks me off. I mean, just so many things. I don't want to lose that hook, right? Because even when we go on these gator rolls, I want to keep that bottom hook, right? So if I can, but I see some people, and if you lose it, you lose it, okay? Let's go through if you lose it. But if you're consciously doing it, then there's an issue. Like you're not understanding. The story I just told about the young man was like, yeah, I know. Why are you taking your leg out? Don't take your hook out. Because I do want to control this hooking leg, that you're like this. And I hook this leg long, and I shot this guy through, and I'm over the top. And now we go on these rolls. I want to kill that turn because I'm going to start cranking from here. But now you're like this, and you're cranking from here, and now he just backs that, and you're like this, and now he's kicking you off, and you lost the knee line. I didn't want him to go into these rolls. I want to hook that leg because I'm going to be cranking as the roll goes. So I don't want to start going boom, and now we roll out of bounds. So let's go through this for 1 second. If for some reason I'm like this at this point, he picks up this leg, I'll shoot this guy long, I'm like this. And now he starts turning on me. And I've lost this hook. My first reaction at this point is to reface him. I'm going to lose this kneecap already because if you understand where this kneecap was, it's sitting so low on my groin line that when he back steps, we're gonna be like this. And now I gotta somehow get back underneath. And you might be able to. You might be holding the shoelaces so long that you're trying to slide yourself back in. Definitely possible, okay? But I'm gonna ask you to reface him at this point. We've gone through this before. Go like this, and like this on this drag. He picks this up, I suck this in, I'm like this, and now he's already going on his back step. So I'm dropping to stop this back step because I potentially, right? Potentially, I may feel like he's running away. And this is the one that we did last time, is I feel he's running away this way from me. And I've gone and faced him the same way. So now my grip comes to this thigh and I come up to this hip because the moment I release this guy off this hip, as he's running away, he's pulling me up, that I'm here on this top quadrant, right? But we're doing leg locks. So we're gonna switch to the other leg, right? You're like this, right? Everything's exactly the same. I'm like this, I hook, I'm over here pulling, I bring him in, I'm over the top, and now he clears me on this side. So I catch this leg. At this point, when I catch this leg, I'm dropping at this point to catch this knee into the middle, that I throw this guy over, sorry, eighth, right? As I take this leg to recapture the heel on the kneecap on this side. So as I'm turning, I'm pulling it through to the other side so that I can shelve it just like we were finishing on the other side before. Back a second. Right, so everything's exactly the same. The reason I'm asking you to turn this way right away is because you had the two options. Either I came up to follow his back if he ran from me, but I want to control the other leg because if I can drop the knee line into the center, I'm going for the other leg on the other side. So I'm like this, right? I picked him up, I brought it to this point, I'm like this. I've thrown this over, he starts turning, so I turn also, right? Because I could come up, right? I could do a calf crusher. I'm not a big fan of calf crushers. I just don't think that in real competition, I just don't think that a high-level player taps on them most 99% of the time. So potentially could. Now you're like this, right? And I just said before, if I can get up here, I may come up, but my knee line's already in the center line because I'm holding on to the shoelaces here, but I don't have the knee line. So I'm looking to penetrate my knee line and grab this leg so that I take this leg and come over the top. Now once I've hooked the hip, I'm coming up, but I gotta pull this ACL, otherwise he's not gonna come over for me. So when we're dropping and I'm pulling, I'm yanking at this ACL to bring it to the other side. Here we are in the same position again on the shoulder. Let's do it, guys. And slide through. So then I got to bail, right? I'm like, oh, but he's about to either try to backstep on me here or he's trying to get his knee line through to score on me. So now I got to go up the turn, right? So it's the same thing. As I popped him out and I false grip here, I stayed behind the ligament line because Martin can't turn now. He's got an issue. I know this is totally different. You think it does, but it's still the manipulation of the kneecap. So my pressure's here that when Martin keeps trying to turn, I'm making this turn. I told the story. This young lady, I think right before the finals at 86, she had 6 fights, or 7 fights, 6 submissions. It was beautiful. Ethan was there, we were in the corner, and Bird came up, the person tried to come, and Bird just kept coming around the turn with her body line so deep under here that she eventually ended up reaching and took the girl down and won the fight and then took her back and choked her out. It was really beautiful to watch. So Martin go in there, right? He's like this, and now he's like this. And this is how this happens. You're like this. He's running away to try to get the knee line out, so he turns over to the other. Lauren, you messed up. Yeah. No, the reason I say he messed up is because you're not just going to climb over. You're throwing the hook into the pocket to pull yourself up because I got to manipulate the ligament line on the kneecap later and why he comes over. Do it again. He drags. He's like this. He's coming up. He hooked. He shot long. He reaped already. How he's trying to run away. He drops the knee line and he did it again. No, young man. No. Stay right there. Go back over here. I'll explain it right now. This guy's trying his best to go in there and pause for a second. You're like this. Isn't what you did before. You're like this. You shot long. He's like this. Perfect. How he's trying to run. Stay right there. So he's trying to pull his knee line out. Knee line's dropping. So he turns in. Stay right there. Right? This knee line drops in. Reason I'm stopping is this hooks to pull you up. Pull yourself up. And now you're like this. Yeah. And now he's behind this kneecap. So when he falls, he's ripping at the ligament from the outside. And that's how he ended up there. So I'm manipulating the knee line in a manner that it doesn't fold at, right? Only reason I stopped him is he wasn't doing it like that before. He's running from you. Something has to hook him. Your Achilles got to hook on the back side, on the far side hip line. Otherwise, he's going to get away from you, right? Because you already lost the knee line to the mat. It's come to the mat. You're not going to get it back. You can't pick it up and slide yourself back underneath. So now I'm switching. One more time. Right, so I want to control. The reason I showed you that thing about coming up from half guard and the manipulation of the knee line is because it's the same principle, right? Go back in there. He goes on the drag, and your partner should run from you, right? Perfect. You're like this. He's running. He's dropping. He's holding. He just caught. He comes up, right? Ligaments pulling that way. He's perfect on the other side. Okay, so that's how it should look, and that's how your partner should feed it to you. Otherwise, you get confused. They're like, how would I turn up, right? But come back 1 second, right? It's really nice now. And now he just learned this. This is like the 12th time him doing it. Perfect. He's like this, right? So if Howie's not running away, you would have finished the first one. Put the knee line back in the pocket. No, back it up, Howie, right? He's like this, right? When he first came up. If Howie does it, he'll finish the heel now on the rotations because this was under here, right? This was hooked under here. So he's going to finish it. But Howie got out of this already. And Howie's knee's already on the mat. So you're turning in to run because potentially, even if you lose this, you're coming up, grab his hip with the other one, right? And you're grabbing here and releasing this leg to pin that leg to come up on your first hook, right? So you understand in the storyline, man, this freaking guy's running too quick. And now when I drop this kneecap, I'm going to be late on the throw on the far side. So I got to come up, man, because I still got ankles. So at least if I come up with ankles, I got a chance of winning the battle of who stays down or who stays up. Okay, what time is it, guys? You got about 5-6 minutes to drill. Try to take advantage of it. You can mix any of the combos up. If you just want to focus on arm drags, dumps, reversals, went through a whole series, okay? Anything you want, but don't take it, I know sometimes people want so eager to roll and roll and roll. You know the thing with the happy pill. More success you have in BJJ, whether it's just recoveries, fighting somebody off, understanding the defensive side, doesn't mean that you have to submit somebody. The more times you are in a positive aspect, more happy pills you get because you just get endorphin. You're like, damn, I got a little bit better today. So let's try to take advantage of it. Let's do it.